Hi kids, I'm out here at Goat Head Farm. I came out because after Molly and I left last week, I remembered that there was a couple things that had water in them that I felt like I should come out, and although they weren't high dollar things, just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything else, and it gave me a reason to come out. One was this water dispenser that is $40 or so new, but why freeze it and break it? It would have froze last night. It was 25 degrees, and the water in my truck, the Nalgene bottle full of water, froze, so that would have froze for sure. Also had a water sprayer that I wasn't thinking about that I saved, so that was good. The other main driver of this trip was Molly and I were thinking it'd be really good to get the brush kind of trimmed down. So I was looking at, the plan is to get a tractor with a bush hog or brush hog, whatever they're called, and I found a really nice tractor. Well, it's not really nice. It's a tractor that I like that has a bush hog on the back. The hydraulics are busted so it doesn't lift, but I think I'm okay with that. And it's somewhere in central Kansas. Problem is, the Chevy is broken down. It's got the active fuel management problem where one of the cylinders is locked out. So that being my tow rig, until I can figure out a way to either get that lifter. If you guys want to look up active fuel management for Chevrolet, GMC, it's a very known problem. Cadillac, I suppose, too. I shouldn't say that. It's Chevrolet, GMC for sure, and there's a certain year range. Mine's a 2008. It's a 6-liter, and I got the misfire error code a few weeks ago, about halfway here. I ended up driving it here, and I haven't driven it since because it doesn't make sense to me that it would do any damage to the cam, but I don't want to drive it until I can get it fixed. So I can't go get any more cars or tractors or anything, which that kind of sucks, but at the same time I'm pretty full. So the main thing that was driving this trip, besides trying to save the containers that had water in them, was to try to go and cut some of the brush down around the farmstead. So I went and rented this was Molly's mom actually told me about these, so I looked them up and those look pretty cool. They're called billy goats. They're brush cutters. There's billy goats and there's DRs. So I was looking at DR. They're actually semi-affordable. The billy goats are extremely expensive. They're more than I could go buy an old Farmall H and a bush hog for. And I'd rather have the Farmall. But we're going to need something to cut around the trees and along the sides of the Quonsets and things like that. So we're going to need something eventually where the brush hog can't go. So more than likely be getting one of those. It cost me I had to drive about an hour there and back. So with all that, it cost me about $200 to rent one for one day, which Molly thinks is not high. I think that's high. But they get to do the maintenance on it and not me. I'm not good at working on small engines. They don't last for me, and as you could probably see with me trying to get the chainsaw running, I don't do well. So probably better just to rent a billy goat once or twice a year and just clean up where we can't get to with the brush hog once we get a brush hog. Once we get the Chevy running and I can go buy a tractor and brush hog, then we can just rent the billy goat once a year and clean up. The other thing that we're really trying to do, my dad has been looking for something to drag behind the John Deere. He doesn't have the 3-point hitch with the hydraulics, but he does have a PTO on the back of it. So if we get the John Deere B running, I think we could mow with that if he's okay with that, or he can come out and mow. That would be fantabulous. this is what it looks like now that it's been mowed. One of the reasons I wanted to mow is so I could get better access to that. My plan is just to build some scaffolding out of lumber. I've got a bunch of lumber in the little Quonset that they left, and I'm just going to build a scaffold up to there. Eventually I would like to build, this will never happen, but in my mind, I would love to build a rail that's 5 or 6 feet out that scaffolding can kind of run on. I'm going to make it so that I can disassemble it and reassemble it, and so I can store it, and then when I need to do roof work, I'll assemble it, and then I'll just roll it down the edge on both sides. Probably need to do it over on this one too, but that's another thing that I'll never do that I like to pretend like I'm going to do. She's a happy girl. With that, I'm going to cut away. I'm going to go take some photos to send to Molly of the work I did yesterday. And what else am I going to do? I don't even remember what my goal was. I guess it's working on that scaffolding for the roof. That, and I'd like to cut a little step where that missing step is for the big house. And by then it's going to be about 2 hours past sunset and freezing cold, and I'll be in the camper eating my mac and cheese for dinner. So thank you guys for watching this, and I hope that it's fun to see all that we're doing out here, and we're going to be doing a lot more soon. We got ourselves into another winter, and it's hard knowing that summer's over and we have to kind of shut down a little bit. Trying to get a stove out here so I can be warm and keep working on cars and doing stuff out here, but we'll see how this winter goes. If it's like last winter, we'll probably see you next March, or April. So wish us luck. If you guys need the snow and the cold, maybe you could wish for it and it'll be where you are and kind of stay warm and mild here. I love snow and cold, but it does not make for getting stuff done out here. So, all right, thanks guys. We'll see you soon.